Hello everyone, in this video we'll be discussing about single action controller. Suppose if you need to structure a specific module that has a one action, then the single action controller comes into play. Like if I go to my home controller and suppose I only need this one method, I don't want to write any kind of other methods in this class, so we can use single action controller. Obviously we can use it like that. If I don't declare any kind of method in this controller, it's totally fine. But in case if you want only one method in your controller, so you can create a single action controller that will perform only one action. So how to create single action controller? Let's see. We will go to our terminal. Before that, let's rename our home controller. I will rename it, let's say this, because if I create a controller that is already has been created, it will throw me an error, and I want to convert this home controller to a invocable controller, okay, or you can say a single action controller. For single action controller, we have to write a PHP command. It is PHP artisan make controller. Then we will create a home controller. Now we have to pass -- invocable. Okay, this flag will create a invocable controller for us, or you can say single action controller. If I enter, you can see a new controller has been created. It's home controller. If I click here, you can see there is a method is called invoke -- invoke, right? So this will handle your incoming request, okay, and you can't use any kind of method in here, because when when the route will hit, this controller will hit this invoke method automatically. Let me show you. Now let's go to web. In our home route, I will remove this one because this route is calling home controller in an index method, so we won't do that anymore. Let's remove this. Then we will just call our class name home controller, then colon class. Okay, we don't need to specify any kind of method here, because this is the magic of single action controller. You just mention the name of the class, and when anyone will hit the URL, this invoke method will automatically call. Okay, now let's go to our old class controller. In this controller class, we will just cut all our previous logics and paste it to our new controller. Okay, so we paste our all previous logic of home controller in our new home controller in this invoke method, right? Now if I go to the project and just enter, you can see it's still working, right? If I again go to my web, when I am going to this home route, you can see here it's still working, and I didn't mention any kind of method name. Previously we are calling the index method, right? Now we didn't mention the name, but it is still working because this is a single action controller. It's calling invoke method automatically, so we don't need to write any kind of new method for it. So this is the single action controller. If you want a controller that will do only one thing, you can go with single action controller. Also you can use the normal controllers also, it's totally fine. But if your module has only one action, you can use this single action controller instead of the normal controller. It's totally fine.